somebody came to me. Somebody threw that shirt at me at Evolution, the first Evolution. Somebody threw it on.
What?
Somebody threw it on stage, and I don't know who the hell threw it. So and from that day on, everywhere I go, somebody gives me a Magic shirt. I have, dude,
Wait,
I
wait,
have
wait,
like,
wait. So you're DJing and they threw it at you, or you just hanging out?
no, I was like, actually, Basic was DJing, and I was just on the stage, and somebody threw the jersey at me, and I can't remember who it was. Uh, and then from that day, I don't know, somebody from that day started like a chain reaction. Everywhere I went, it's like somebody would come up to me and give me a Magic shirt.
And it's like the basketball team Magic. It will always
Yeah,
be one of those.
yeah. And you want to know something crazy? Uh, Kevin Newcree from Callis,
Mm-hmm.
guy that works for the Magic, and they made me a Adidas outfit that says Magic.
Yo, that's fresh.
I gotta send you
You
the
could
picture.
take a picture. You could send that to me. It's all good because, dude, I know there's so many events like you've DJ that I'm always like, Magic is here. You DJ probably a few of my jams that I did, and I
Yeah,
know
I
the
did.
fairgrounds. You did the fairgrounds, and that's when I heard all those rare tracks that I never heard in my life. I just kept asking you. I was like, Yo, Magic, what's that? What's that? In fact, you were the first DJ to DJ that I heard play the Roberto Ruena, que se sepa.
Oh, I have a story about that.
The show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Flash Talks, history worth listening to. I go by the name of Flashback, and this evening we have another special guest. Man, I'm so excited and so happy and so grateful to have this brother here, and he's still with us right now. And I want to give him all my respect. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Rudy Alfonso, aka DJ Magic. This brother, he's been DJing since 1973. That's 50 years, as long as hip hop has been around. This guy has DJ for Andy Warhol. He was the youngest DJ to DJ at Studio 54. You heard that, Studio 54. He also DJ for Liza Minnelli, for Prince's birthday party at the Grand Slam. He was one of the DJs that used to DJ for Zulu anniversaries, doing park jams, events, jams. He's done it all. Proams, Evolution, Outbreaks. If you haven't heard of DJ Magic in Florida, I don't know, you're living under a rock or something, but DJ Magic has performed and has DJ everywhere. And not only that, this guy's been like the driver to pick up B-boys and B-girls from airports. This man doesn't ask for a dime, and he still goes out there and does his thing. And he's one of those true diehard hip hop. This guy is into everything you could think about hip hop. He has a beautiful story to tell you. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for DJ Magic. Hey, DJ Magic, what's going on, brother? How's everything?
Here, still alive.
You're still alive, and I'm so happy
Yeah,
I'm
almost,
talking to you because
almost
I
left.
know a lot of people are going through some stuff. But first of all, let everyone know like what happened. Like a lot of people are wondering like what happened to Magic. So can you let
Uh,
everyone know what's going on with you, brother?
yeah, 3 days. Like 3 days after my birthday. My birthday was on May 13th, and on the 16th, I got a mini heart attack and a pulmonary embolism, and I was rushed to the hospital with a police escort and everything, and got operated
Wow.
right away. My arteries around my lungs and my heart were completely clogged up. It's like it's
Ooh.
crazy because I didn't feel nothing. I was like at home. This was like late at night, and I couldn't breathe, and I just couldn't breathe. And then my mom is like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just can't breathe." And then my daughter, who's works in the medical field, she's like, "Daddy, you have to go to the hospital." I'm like, "Nah, I'm okay." And she goes, "Nah, Dad." And I got in my car and went to the hospital. As soon as I got there, the nurses, everybody's like, "You're having a heart attack." And I'm like, I don't feel nothing. And they threw me in the ambulance with a police escort and rushed me to Mount Sinai and South Beach and operated me right away.
Wow. So you're here
Doctor,
right now.
I was like 2 minutes from dying.
Man, I'm so happy that you're here with us. And one of the
Uh,
reasons why I have you on the show, and I know we've been talking about this, having you on the show, but
yeah.
unfortunately that happened to you, but you're here now. And I'm so happy that I could talk to you. And one of the reasons why I do the show is to give you my flowers because you're still with us. And I want you to change your ways, man. Let's
Oh yeah.
fight the fight. Because man, we need more DJ Magic, man. You're still young.
Oh, trust
You're
me.
not old
Be
enough,
on top
but
of my ass. Everybody here in Florida is on top of me every day to make sure I lose weight and stuff.
yeah, man. Not only lose weight, but because there's people that are really thin that could have heart attacks all
Oh
the
yeah,
time.
man. Dude,
It's
this,
not even about like losing weight. Losing weight is part of it, but that's just not one of them. It's just making sure you eat right. You at least walk a little bit every day, get that blood pumping because man,
yeah, that's
I'm
my.
not a doctor, but those are things that things that are kind of like common sense to do. But man, I just hope that you continue doing this because every single day is gonna be a fight. So
Yeah, it
as
is.
long as you win every day, you wake up the next day and you say, I made it. I'm here. So
Yeah,
thank you.
like I was just in New York for the New York City Breakers event, and I walked like crazy there because
Oh, you're talking
Yonkers,
about Battle of the Boroughs.
yeah, London's event.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I flew out there because a friend of mine was having a party, retirement party, and he flew me out there to DJ for his party. So I was like, it was on the same day, so I'm like, oh, great. So I went to it. But man, I would never ever go to Yonkers again without. Next time I'll take a Uber because Yonkers, if you know, is all mountains.
Yeah. Why?
The
You're
train.
going uphill in Yonkers.
Oh my God! When I got off the train, I had to walk like 40 minutes up a mountain. When I
Wait,
got
you
to the
took the
event,
one
I was
train?
about to
The
die.
one train?
Huh?
The one train you took up
No, no,
there?
you take the Metro North.
Oh, you took the Metro North. I was gonna say because the one train goes to Van Cortlandt Park 242nd and then it turns into Yonkers and that's a mission. So I thought you took the one train. I'm like, Magic, you're nuts.
The one goes to Yonkers. I looked online. It was like I couldn't find
Well,
any
no,
train that
no, it
went.
stops at Van Cortlandt Park
Oh,
at
from there you got to walk
242nd.
a lot though.
But then you gotta walk. Like,
Yeah, that's a long walk though.
yeah, that is a long walk.
I mean,
But
there's a
yeah, man,
bus.
but very, very happy to have you on the show. There's so much history. You're one
Oh
of,
yeah.
I can say you're one of my DJ mentors that I've been watching for so long since I started breaking early 90s. And I've been seeing you around and I've known you from New York as well. So your name has been everywhere. Like whoever doesn't know DJ Magic, I don't know what they're smoking. I don't know where they're living at, but everyone should know your name. But I want to start it off from the top because I want to make sure everyone knows your history. We would like to know how were you introduced to the hip hop culture? And I know that when you started, there was no name hip hop.
Nah.
So let's go back to you being like about 10, 11 years old before you even saw or heard rap or graffiti. Like, where were you born and raised? Like, let's start with where were you born and where you from originally.
Well, I was born in Cuba, but I came to New York when I was a baby.
Okay.
So I was raised in Queens, all over Queens. I lived in Astoria, I lived in Jackson Heights, I lived in Jamaica. My family moved like crazy. I lived in Queensbridge, which I lived in the same building where actually Nas lives in the apartment where I live. I moved
What?
when I moved out of there. Nas's family moved in Queensbridge.
Yo, that is so dope.
Yeah,
It's such a small world,
and
especially Queens.
I actually got into hip hop because I I became friends with so many people in Queensbridge that I always went back, and I was like Molly Marr, MC Shan, Roxanne. They all lived in my building, so I grew up with them.
And how
So
you got into it? How you got it? Like, what were you listening to? Do you hear rap first? Did you see graffiti
nah,
first?
nah. In '73, there was really no rap music around.
Yeah. So how
Uh,
did it start for you? Like, how you got into this?
well, I was a disco DJ and a funk DJ. You know, everybody's always telling me, considers me a break DJ, but I'm a funk DJ. I play funk. I love funk music. It's like, but I mean, I come from a big, huge musical family. A lot of my relatives are famous musicians. And
Okay,
like,
can you drop some of them out there? Some of the
oh, my
names?
uncle, Paquito de Rivera.
Say that again.
Paquito de Rivera, he's a
Oh,
saxophone
Paquito de
player.
Rivera. Oh
That's my,
man, he's a legend.
yeah. So, I grew like when I first met Lacey in 2000 at Pro-Am, he was playing one of my uncle's tracks, La Compasa para Ir a Queres. And I was like,
Wow.
I didn't play that. I was like, yo, that's my uncle's song. And he's like, that's your uncle? It goes, yeah, the saxophone player on that break is my uncle. And I was like, so I was around music my whole life. Like my dad is a huge vinyl junkie. So my dad always like almost every weekend he would go and buy tons of records. My cousins were also buying records. So I had like a huge collection of records. So like and my cousins were all older than me. So they all had like a lot of funk 45s. So that's how I got into the whole funk music and I started playing disco. Like everybody in my neighborhood was a DJ, So I just
So
saw them.
music was always around you in your entire life.
Yeah. And then in Queens, like if you see the documentary Founding Fathers NYC, you're gonna see like all those DJs in Queens with huge equipment. Well, when
Hmm.
I was a kid, I used to go to the parks and I used to see that. And then I I met a bunch of DJs and I started just DJing with them. I started practicing and and I started DJing with a whole bunch of DJs. There was a crew in my neighborhood. It was called 78th Street Crew and FEH, and those guys had a huge equipment. So I used to DJ in the parks with them, and and that's how I got into music. And then I started DJing. Then when I was 13 years old, the guy I talked to you about, this Indian guy named Raj, his family was like oil sheiks. They were rich, bro. They were like billionaires, and his friends were promoters. And then he opened, so he got me to DJ like at a bunch of clubs for like private parties for like celebrities, for like Liza Minnelli, Andy Warhol, Keith Haring. I DJ at Studio 54 like a bunch of times for different celebrities. I mean, I was like, you ever see the Dave Chappelle, the whole thing with Eddie Murphy and Rick James? I was there when that happened.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, so when that
I
happened,
saw
when
that.
what?
I saw that whole thing happen there. I was there. I used to see like tons of celebrities come in and out of there because
So were you into were you spinning also in like new wave music besides
I
disco?
did. I
Like,
spun new wave. I actually spun at CBGB's because I lived across. Because I told you I lived all over Queens and I lived in Forest Hills, and across the street from me, the Ramones lived, and the Ramones were
that's
like one of the first bands to like start the whole punk rock scene. So I was like really heavily into the whole new wave stuff. I
so
I
when you started getting a little older, do you start going to different clubs or you already moved to Miami? Like when
I
was it
moved,
that you moved to Miami?
well, I moved in '86 when hip hop died.
Oh, so when hip hop went away and it went underground again, you moved
Yeah,
out here.
when
But so
hip hop,
early
because
'80s.
when the whole b-boy scene died in '86, when what's his name from the New York City Breakers died, it's crazy. When he died, the whole scene died.
Well, Glide Master.
Grandmaster, yeah, Michael.
Oh wow! So when he passed away, that's everybody kind of
Yeah, it's
wasn't
crazy.
really doing.
That's
Well,
it's
you
crazy.
know, you had Kuriaki and Buck Ford from Rocksteady Crew die as well, so there
Yeah,
was a
but
lot of
they
like
died a
deaths
couple of
going
years
on.
after him.
That's crazy. Now, late '70s, before the '80s, before the whole boom era of breaking, what were you doing? You were just spinning disco and funk. That was your thing.
Yeah, I was spinning disco and funk until like 1979 when the first hip hop records came out.
And you weren't scratching or anything because I heard back then there was no scratching. It was all about mixing with the channels, correct?
Yeah, it was all mixing, and it was like there was no. Remember the Bose? It was a Bozak mixers that had knobs, so it was like DJing with knobs.
What?
I used to
So
like DJs used to scratch like this with the two fingers with the knobs.
wow. And I'm gonna assume you couldn't even afford to buy like some Technique turntables, none of that stuff, right?
No, actually, though, my first DJ set, I always give props to this lady. To oh my God, I can't believe I forgot her name now, and I just finished talking to her, one of my friends, the lady who owns Rock and Soul, Shirley. When I was like 12 years old, I used to go there and buy records all the time, and a lot of famous DJs worked in that at Rock and Soul, and a lot of DJs that were there, they used to hook me up with like promos. And one day I walk in there and Shirley tells me, "Hey, Magic, I have two turntables and a mixer for sale for $200." And there was a 1200 and a Gemini mixer, because some guy put it on layaway, but he never came to finish paying it. Like something happened to the guy and he never showed up. So she like, if you want it, I'll sell it to you for $200. And I was like, what? This is like $1,000 DJ system or something. Dude, I ran home and I borrowed money from everybody in my neighborhood, and I came with the turntables in the mixer. So every
That's
time,
awesome.
it's crazy because every time I go to New York, the first person I visit is her, and it's crazy
Wow.
how running the store, and her kids were in diapers when I used to go there.
So what is she doing now?
Oh, she opened the. It's crazy. She shut down the store for a couple of years, and all the DJs and everybody got together and got like a petition signed for her to reopen it. Oh, I
And,
can't
and
hear
what's the
you.
name of
Lost
and
you
what's
there.
the name of the spot?
Rock and Soul.
Oh, Rock and Soul. Okay, that's
Yeah.
so dope. Now, so you say you keep in contact with her, right?
Oh yeah. I visit her every time I go to New York. She's the first person
That's
I visit.
beautiful. Well, shout out to Shirley. She got a nice name.
No, I don't remember her name.
Yeah, the last name. Now, and around that time in the
If you
70s,
go on the
where
website, you see her name and everything there.
yeah,
And you will.
I could put it up here. I could put it up here when I find their name. But around that time, who were your mentors and teachers that were helping you out, teaching you the way? Do you have any names? Anyone that you could remember that was teaching the way of hip hop? Not really
And
hip
I
hop, but just like how to do things.
I really taught myself, and I just hanged out. Dude, I had a lot of friends who were educated rapper of UTFO was one of my best friends. He worked with me in a messenger service before he ever joined UTFO. So
That's
when he
amazing.
that song, Roxanne, I was one of the first to hear it. He brought a cassette tape with the song to work, and I used to bring my boombox to work, and we put it on the boombox, and it's funny because everybody at my job was cracking up. They're like, "Yo, that song is corny as hell. That song is whack." And that song, dude, they sold millions of records. And
And is that the one is go ahead, go ahead.
that song was actually the flip side of another record. That wasn't supposed to be the hit, but when they played it on the radio, it became a bigger hit because the other side was called "Hanging Out," and that was the song that was supposed to be the hit. But but that's but when Roxanne Shante came out dishing the record, it brought their sales up, and it's crazy because it's in the Guinness Book of World Record with having the most what you call I forgot what you would call it, like replies to it, because it had Roxanne's mother, Roxanne's doctor, Roxanne's boyfriend.
Yeah. It's like the man, I forgot. It's like a feedback, like the feedback of it. Shit, it's not that.
It's like over 500 records of Roxanne, and it even came out in different languages. So
that song came out in different languages. I never knew that part.
Oh yeah, it did, and it's crazy. No, but they had like other rappers do their own versions of it in different countries. So it has like over 400 to maybe more. I don't know. I got to check it. It's in the Guinness Book of World Records.
That's
It's
amazing.
the
Now,
most
now
recorded.
you're hanging out in Queens, you said, right? And you're like 13. And before the 80s come in, the whole boom hip hop. Do you know any cats from back in the days that are like legendary in the b-boy scene or DJs like that you started meeting in the 80s?
Uh, I was real. My friend Alex was best friends with Spinner and Float
Mm-hmm.
because they went to school. They went to the same high school, Aviation High School. That's how I. That's how I used to go to the fun house with my friend Alex and Spinner.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how and then Dynamic Rockers were always breaking in the roller skating ring where I was always at, where I DJ.
Do you ever go to the USA roller skating rink? That's the one you're talking
Yeah,
about?
DJ there.
That's amazing. Now, um, I know that this is fast forward to the way after. What's this about? Where oh, that's 4 years old, 3, right?
Oh, that's Lito's
That,
jam.
that's here in Florida. I don't know what year was that at, but
Oh, I don't remember. That was
um
number 3. He's done a bunch
yeah,
of
and
them.
I know that when I entered with Omen, Crazy C, Exclude, Prism, we entered 4 years old 4 and we won that one. But I think I didn't go to number 3, but that's dope. And I know I have a lot of pictures and stuff, and I would like to show it through the years because there's so much flies. You've been, dude, when I tell you any B-boy jam in Florida, I always think of your name, DJ Magic. It's gonna be in the flyer. So we're gonna start it off and give everyone kind of like a
Well, in
history.
2000, I was DJing all the jams.
That's what I'm saying. And you come from Proams, which is one of
Yeah.
like the dopest jams out here. In fact, I will
That's what
always say that Proams was the best in Florida.
was pro.
So talk to me about this right here.
Uh, I, re- uh, I received my Miami Pioneer Award, which is funny because I'm not from Miami. I'm from New York.
Well deserved. But you've
And,
been in Miami for a long time,
yeah.
brother.
So and that's the first guy is Brimstone. That he's like a legendary MC graffiti artist here.
Yeah, shout out to
He's,
Brimstone. He's such a dope
he has
brother.
man one of the dopest nonprofit the Path, where he teaches kids hip hop graffiti, practically the same thing that me and the guy my one of my best friends that passed away, Joe, that's right next to me when we
Yeah,
started
rest in
Callus.
peace. Who's the other brother next to
And
between
that's
you
Mr.
and
Long. He's the one who gave me the award.
dope. Yeah, man. And
Because he
talking about him, right there,
Black
that's
Sheep.
your brother right there, right? Joel.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to that brother. And I know you guys started it together. And
Yeah.
I think I have a picture of you guys later on, right?
Those are the guys that started with us. As Eric on the top, and then the guy kneeling down to the right is Matt, and then the guy next to me is Chris. Which Chris is actually has won a bunch of Academy Awards for sound and movies.
That's beautiful. And
He's
then
a
you see Joel in the back. So you guys were all the creator of Catalyst, correct?
yeah. Well,
The founders of Catalyst.
the whole idea came from me. One day I went to with my friend Eric and this other and another real famous popper and b-boy from Florida, Debbie. You remember Debbie?
Oh, Debbie, yeah.
It was me, Debbie, my friend Eric, and this guy and this other kid, Dusty. We went to Tampa to a crossover church for this. It was a Christian event called Flavor Fest because somehow one of the b-boys there got in contact with me and had me and found out that I was a Christian and had me DJ the b-boy battle. I DJed the first 3 Flavor Fest, the b-boy battles.
What year was that? If you
away.
could remember.
This kid named Macho. I don't know if you ever met Macho from Tampa. He was a dark-skinned kid, had dreads. He was really
he do stuff with Dolo, Zulu Dolo back then?
yeah, Dolo was there. But
Yeah,
when we
met him. I think I met him going to Tampa a few times. But yeah. So now you were DJing that around what year was that?
the Flavor Fest, I think it was 2000. Either 2000
Wow,
2000.
before the towers fell. Before the towers fell, right?
Yeah, this was before we started Callus. We started Callus in 2001. So it had to be 2000, either 99 or 2000, something like that.
Damn, so
And
you were already doing it big when it comes to stuff like that, even before Catalyst. That's
yeah, yeah,
amazing.
yeah, yeah. And so when I went there, they had this like b-boy room that was built like a subway. It was really dope. And when me and my friends go in there, we see Skill Methods breaking in there. And it was like at that time there was a lot of b-boys in Tampa. There was a lot. And I saw them all breaking down. So I go to my friend Eric and I go, yo, this would be dope for us to do something like this down in Miami or in Broward. And that's how the whole idea for Callus came along. And then because Joe was actually doing when I first met Joe, he was doing stuff in the parks because he worked at the Boys and Girls Club, and he had a little crew of b-boys. There was like Antoine, Laz, Depart, Nesto, Tristan, and they were b-boys, and they were pretty dope. And so Joe would like get a big extension cord from the Boys and Girls Club and bring it into the park right next to it, and he would put a boombox, and the b-boys would break, and then he would get a big crowd of people, and he would start preaching. That was the like beginning of Callus. We started out in the streets. We did it for years out in the street before we started Callus. And one day a pastor of a church comes by and sees what we're doing, and he goes, "Hey, would you guys like to do this in my church? I have a building you guys can use." And then from there we started Callus.
That's so dope. And rest in peace,
So
Joel, man.
Joe just put his finger in the dictionary and landed on Callus.
Shut up, for real?
I couldn't hear what you said there. You keep cutting on and off and on me.
Really? You can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, so I'm saying that he put his finger on the dictionary or the yellow books or whatever.
No, he got a dictionary. He just went like that. He put his finger in it, and it landed on Callus. And when he
On
read
the word catalyst, you're saying?
word Callus, and then when he saw what it meant, it was like, "Hey, this is perfect."
That's so dope. So talk
Because
to me about this right here. Talk to me about this right here.
Oh, that was in Mexico, face to face. It was like It was like before they started doing the b-boys, the b-boy ciphers, the Red Bull ciphers.
Mm-hmm.
This was like the qualifier for Mexico.
Dope.
Like the winner
so you've been doing stuff with Red Bull.
The finals.
Dope. And then what about this right here?
Oh, that was during the Winter Music Conference. I can't remember what year it was. It was like 90 something like that.
Who's that with you?
That's Love Starsky.
Who?
That's Love Boss Starsky, the guy who came up with the word hip hop.
Oh snap! I couldn't even recognize it. So when was this?
That was in the penthouse of a hotel somewhere. I can't remember. It was so long ago. That was when Scion. You remember the car Scion?
Oh yeah, when Scion came out, that was pretty popular.
When the car Scion first came out, they were doing a lot of hip hop events. So there's another picture I forgot to send you because this one of my idols is Kev Dodge. I don't know if you know who that is. I have to send you the picture. Kev Dodge is like one of the biggest Funk 45 DJs in the UK. And I've been following that guy since I was a kid.
Wow. Yeah. So he way older than you then?
Huh?
He's way older than you.
Oh yeah, Kev Dodge is old as hell.
And he's still doing it?
Yeah, he still does it, man. He came to the United States to DJ. And when I found out, I hit him up. And he asked me to DJ with him because he knew I was a funk DJ. So I was like, "Oh my God!" I was like, "You're kidding me, man? You want me to DJ with you?" It's like you're my idol, but it's like anybody that knows about funk music will know who this guy is because he's like the biggest collector of Funk 45s.
And how do you feel besides?
So he got me to DJ that event because that event was like all the DJ. Kool Herc was there, Jazzy J, Jazzy Jeff. Like you see, I have a picture with Jazzy Jeff.
Is that it right here?
Yeah, that's Jazzy Jeff right there. Yeah. and then the other guy is Peanut Butter Wolf.
And this guy?
Yeah, Peanut Butter Wolf from Stone Throw Records.
Yep,
I
yep.
for the do over that he used to do.
And so you've been searching. So you're like one of those real died hard funk like fans.
And so when I DJ with Kev Dodge at the event. Actually, and Questlove was there before he was even known who the hell. Nobody even knew who he was at the time.
I'm telling you, like, if I could grab a picture of every event that you DJ, I bet you've DJed them all.
Oh yeah, I have.
Like straight up, I ain't kidding you, yeah. Because I look at pictures and I'm like over and over and over.
And I wish I had the flyer for it. Was East Coast Overdose.
Oh, that's a dope one.
Freaking huge.
Yeah, East Coast Overdose. Damn, I forgot about that.
Oh my! That event was like the dopest event because the state versus state, and I hated that. I hated that Mex never wanted to get a Florida team to go to it.
That's interesting. So what about this? I know this is Hip Hop Elements that you did. So where was this at? Was that out here in Orlando?
No, that's when he when Speedy did it at the hotel over here in Hialeah. At the man, that wasn't that too long ago. It was a couple of years ago that he did it at this hotel in Hialeah. I forgot. I think it was the Ramada Hotel. I can't even remember what the name of that hotel is.
What about this? What about here?
I think that was Lito's Jam. I think that was For Your Soul.
Another For Your Soul.
I think that was For Your Soul. Yeah.
This is always the classic shirt that you used to rock that describes who you are.
My mom freaking put it somewhere. I don't know what's that. I was looking.
That's the one that you were looking for.
Yo, it's crazy. I have a really story about that because somebody came to me. Somebody threw that shirt at me at Evolution, the first Evolution. Somebody threw it on stage, and I don't know who the hell threw it. And from that day on, everywhere I go, somebody gives me a Magic shirt.
Wait. So you're DJing and they threw it at you, or are you just hanging out?
No, I was actually Basic was DJing, and I was just on the stage, and somebody threw the jersey at me, and I can't remember who it was. And then from that day, I don't know, somebody from that day started like a chain reaction. Everywhere I went, it's like somebody would come up to me and give me a Magic shirt.
And it's like the basketball team Magic. It will always be one of those.
Yeah, and you want to know something crazy? Kevin Newcree from Callis, guy that works for the Magic, and they made me an Adidas outfit that says Magic.
Yo, that's fresh.
I gotta send you the picture.
You can take a picture. You can send it to me. It's all good because, dude, I know there's so many events like you've DJed that I'm always like, Magic is here. You DJ probably a few of my jams that I did, and I know the Fairgrounds. You did the Fairgrounds. And that's when I heard all those rare tracks that I never heard in my life. And I just kept asking you, I was like, yo, Magic, what's that? What's that? In fact, you were the first DJ to DJ that I heard play the Roberto Ruena, Que Se Sepa.
Oh, I have a story about that. Yeah, I have a really good story about Roberto Ruena. That song, Que Se Sepa, my uncle wrote that song for his group. Oh my God! And now I have to look for it. I'll look for it and send it to you because it's like my memory right now. I can't remember the name of the group. Then my uncle used to perform it, and they actually came out with the song at the same exact time. But Roberto Reyena took it and became famous with it. But my uncle's group did it before, wrote that song, and came up with that song.
Damn, I kind of remember because I've heard that song.
Maybe
it was the same. Maybe it was the same. And it didn't start with a it didn't start like that. The original one, right? That your uncle did.
It starts the same way. It's just a little. It's a little slow. It sounds almost exactly the same. It's just a little. My uncle's version and group was slower.
Trying to see if I find it. Is it because I know Roberto Ruena. Let me see. Pa que sepa, Roberto Ruena, pa que sepa. That's pa que sepa. This
Que
is
se
que se
sepa.
sepa. It's
Yeah.
que se sepa. Yeah, but you can send it to me. But I
It's
want
the
to go
cojon.
down through a few
Oh,
flyers,
I
and
know.
I want you to
I think it's
go
the
ahead.
cojon. Impacto. I think it's the name of my uncle's band. My
Los
uncle
Impactos, you said?
was a trumpet player for that band. I tell you, I have almost everybody in my family is either a musician, singer. Two of my cousins are like the biggest producer of. They have wrote music for everybody. Like the last album that Celia Cruz did, my cousin Jorge Luis Piloto wrote every song on that album. El
That's
Carnaval.
amazing. So he was like the ghostwriter?
He was a writer. His name is on his. If you actually get the CD or whatever, you'll see his name. He won awards. He won awards for it.
That's
He
amazing.
he wrote the whole album. Every song on Celia Cruz album he wrote, and he wrote.
Now, do you ever travel with any band or anything as a DJ? Because I know back then, 70s, 80s, and 90s, they will always have a DJ either on the side with the band or if not, sometimes they wouldn't take the DJ. But do you ever travel with any band or anything?
No, but I DJ a lot of festivals though.
Oh, that's for sure. I know that. Like, but I want to go through some of the flyers because there's so many flyers I have.
I
And I
mean, I
want you to
D,
just start
I DJ
like
I DJ for
that one.
like Def Jam concerts. Yeah, that's
Yep, look
Outbreak.
at that. That's
Outbreak
Outbreak.
6. Yeah, that was
Amazing. That was so dope, so dope. What about here?
that's the second evolution.
And you DJ that too.
I DJ
I'm
all of
telling
them.
you, Bboys and Bgirls that are watching this, or anyone out here that is listening to this man has DJ'd every jam. Boom. Look at that.
Yeah, the one in the middle was the Zulu Nation
That
anniversary
was
for
the
Miami.
20th anniversary.
Yeah, 20-year anniversary of Miami chapter. The
Yeah, that was
Bam,
literally 10 years ago already.
which Bam actually came and gave me props for my breaks. he actually,
Oh, he heard the breaks.
like he was that was like an honor because he actually came up to me and like, yo, I never heard any of these songs. So,
Telling you, you got them rare songs.
for a guy who to have a huge collection to tell me that he never heard the breaks that I was playing was like, whoa.
Yeah, because you do. Like I'm telling you, me as a DJ, I used to play more of the classic. You will come in with these rare classics that I was like, what in the world is that? And it's like
Yeah.
so funky. Like, damn. Like to this day, I talk like to random heads that love funk, and I will say you and Lacey were the ones that had the rarest. In fact, I know you have more than Lacey. I know that for a fact.
I
Lacey just
actually I
got.
actually gave records to Lacey.
You see, I knew there's something going on.
Bought him records because since he couldn't get a lot of the stuff that he wanted in the UK, he will send me a list and I will go and buy it for him.
Are you still digging in the crates still? Like you still looking for stuff or not?
Uh, well, I don't buy like I haven't bought records in a long time. I mean, I still dig for stuff, but I just look for I buy like digital copies of stuff. I don't buy the actual vinyl. I mean,
Amazing. Now
I don't
this right here.
I don't have equipment. I sold all my equipment.
You did?
Oh, a long time ago.
Oh snap! But
I
you still got the skills.
need the controller like every other DJ now.
Yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. And you don't hate on that, right?
Nah, man.
You actually like it.
Oh, I like use I prefer to use turntables and use vinyl. For me, it's a lot. I don't know. For me, it's a lot easier to DJ with vinyl. But
But do
I'm
you
not
get
gonna
used
carry.
to using controller now?
Yeah, I'm not gonna take 20 crates of records around with me.
Yeah, you get your hard drive, boom, plug. Even Jazzy J and Jazzy Jeff, all of them, they do controllers. I seen them do that.
It's crazy. Uh, the first time I went to the Winter Music Conference that Rain was sponsoring it,
Mm-hmm.
Jazzy J and Theodore was there, and and the guy from Rain was trying to get me to use Serato because
Yeah.
it's funny. 'Cause I had the mixer. My friend Eric, he won a sweepstake, but he put my name instead of his. So
Oh
I
snap!
so I had the mixer before anybody did, and it sat in my closet for 8 years because
You never used
I
it.
didn't want I didn't have a computer either.
Oh, that's right, because it went digital.
I was still using vinyl. I didn't start using freaking Serato to like probably like 2010 something like that.
Yeah, when I met you, you weren't using no computers. It was straight vinyl.
Because like at Outbreak, I used vinyl until like maybe the last three outbreaks that I started using the computer. And it's funny because every year I would go to that event. The rain man, I can't remember the name of it. It was an event that had, it was like an electronic show.
Mm-hmm.
And Jazzy J and all these old school guys will always be there, and I'll go there and hang out with them. And, and it's funny because they will always bug me. They're like, "Yo," like Jazzy J and all of them were like, "Yo, Magic, when you gonna get on the Serato, man? It's like I can hook you up, man. I can get you sponsored." I'm like, "Dude, I'm never gonna use that. I'm gonna. I love vinyl." And then I told the guy, I go, the day that I see Theodore use it, or when you have a actual Serato 45, I'll switch to Serato. The next year I come, Theodore is using Serato. He's
Yeah.
doing the free, and he's actually doing the needle because I'm like, how the hell is he going to do needle drops with a computer? And he was doing it. And then the guy comes up to me and goes, "Here, Magic, I made this just for you." He made me a Serato 45. He goes, "Now you have to use it." And I was like, "Oh, great! Now I gotta." It's like now I gotta use it because I said I was.
Did it
And then,
take you long to learn it?
oh man, it took me a long time because I didn't even know how to use a computer.
Oh snap!
I didn't have a computer. I used Joe at Callis had like an old Mac, and I used to use that for a while. And dude, I used to get so pissed off that I wanted to throw the Mac against the freaking wall because I couldn't understand how to use it. And like it took me forever. Mean, they didn't have computers when I was a kid, so I didn't even know how to turn it on.
So now you're very fluent with the Serato and your controller. You're good with it.
I just know how to do like. There's a lot of stuff that I still don't know how to that I'm still learning how to use. Like my controller has like 1,000 buttons, and I don't even know what the hell they're for.
I know, I know. I've been watching some YouTube dudes. They be going crazy with all them buttons, and I'm like, why are all these buttons? I know turntables, they don't have that many buttons. It's either you scratch, you the pitch up and down, nothing crazy like that. So now I want to move on because I want to know throughout the 70s and 80s, you're doing your thing, hip hop. You seen the world change. The
Oh
world's
yeah.
changing for you. You move out to Florida in 1986. You move out here. Now you're in Florida. Was there a scene out here when you came out here?
Yeah, actually there was.
So is that how you met Speedy, Chilsky, and all of them,
No,
or tell me the story how you got to meet them?
no, the first person I met was Flex. One of the
Oh,
one of the
Flex, the one in Germany now?
Yeah, the one he was one of the original floor masters. I knew Flex from New York, and I a friend of mine that used to work in the movie theater used to work with this kid named Artie, and he used to live across the street from Flex. And one day I was playing at a party, and I was playing like Just Begun and the Mexican and all the B-boy breaks, classic stuff. And my friend and this kid Artie comes up to me. He goes, "Hey, there's a kid that lives across the street from me that's from New York, and he's a B-boy." And I go, "Really?" I'm like, "What's his name?" And he goes, "His name is Flex." I go, "Oh shit, I know Flex from New York, yeah." So I went and I went and I met Flex, and then through Flex I met Speedy, and then from Speedy I met Chilsky and everybody else. But the first B-boy I ever met was Flex, and then I met Speedy. I knew Flex.
That's
I knew Flex
that's
for like
so
a couple of
dope.
years before I met Speedy.
I didn't even know because I know when I had Speedy on the show, he mentioned Flex. Like he was like
Yeah,
the
he's the one who
person that
taught
was
Speedy
like,
how to break.
Do you
But I,
keep in touch with Flex?
huh?
Do you keep in touch with him?
Man, I used to, and I actually blocked him from my phone and Facebook because he was driving me nuts, man.
Yeah,
He was
only you driving me nuts, driving everyone nuts. Everyone that I talk to, they tell me that it's I don't know what's going on with the brother, but
I
hopefully
mean, we were best friends.
he
I
what
mean, me
happened?
and Flex were best friends. We through the '80s to the night until the day he left to Germany, we were always together, always. And he was a tremendous, not just a b-boy, he was a tremendous MC.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, he has you gotta look on YouTube. There's a song. It's called MC Flex and the FBI Crew. The FBI Crew was actually Fresh Breakers Incorporated. They were Nice and Wild. They were b-boys before. Nice and Wild were b-boys before they became Nice and Wild.
Were you talking about Nice and Wild, like they got into freestyle?
Yeah, they were actually b-boys before they became Nice and Wild.
Yo, I never knew that. Well, shout out to Flex, and hopefully he's doing good. And if he's not, get some
Well, his
help.
mom his mom passed away not that long ago.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that will make anyone lose their mind.
yeah. But dude, when I first got in contact with him again through his brother, he was calling me every day at 5, 6, 7 in the morning, like nonstop. Every day he was calling me. It's like, yo, man, Flex, dude, it's a different time here than Germany. It's like, stop calling me so early. He's like, oh, Magic, sorry, sorry. And then he would come and call me again. So I had to block him, and like now he messages me and I just message him back. That's it. Because man, he was
Yeah,
driving.
yeah. He's probably lonely out there, man. In Germany, probably the only. Well, there's
Well,
a
he's
lot of hip
actually
hop heads
famous
out
out
there.
there. He told me that he's like doing teaching b-boys, and like everybody out there knows who he is.
Oh shit, that's dope.
But his problem was that when he first got there, he got jumped by a bunch of skinheads, and they like beat the crap out of him. They put him in the hospital.
Damn, man, that's crazy.
So I don't know, when he was calling me, he would just keep talking about that, about oh, these guys jumping. And then I don't know, man, he's like totally out of it. He was like, sometimes I couldn't understand what he was saying. He would just ramble on and talk about total nonsense, that like stuff that didn't make sense. So, like,
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are going through that as well now that I haven't spoken in years, and when they start talking, I'm like, wow, what happened? And especially after the pandemic. After the
and
pandemic, I don't know what happened, but it hit a lot of people. People disappeared. People don't keep in
dude,
contact. But
nine of my friends in New York committed suicide during COVID.
so whack, yeah. People
I
just couldn't handle it, man. And it's crazy because one of the things I realized about hip hop, that things could be happening everywhere, but when it comes to the underground side of hip hop, we all come together either for a jam, we all come together for something, and it's always positive. That's the beautiful thing. Why it has kept me in the culture, because of that. You could be tall, skinny, white, black, yellow. We don't care. It's about your skills. Will you agree, Magic?
Yeah, but the culture has changed a lot, man. It's not the same as back in
Which
2000s.
which brings me to this question. In the current state of hip hop culture, what is something you would like to change?
Oh man, first thing, the music, because right now it's all like DJs making playing their own music. Like nobody, because of the copyright stuff, nobody's able to actually play real b-boy breaks. I'm like, some of the stuff that these DJs play, it just doesn't have the energy of real breaks. It's too electronically. I mean, there's a couple of DJs that they play, like Chief. He plays a lot of stuff because actually I'm the one who gave him most of the music.
Shout
Like
out
if
to
you
DJ Chief. Yeah, I like how he does his stuff. You know,
It's like he
Like
always
he
gets
at
me,
least,
he always gets me
yeah,
props.
he listens. He listens to constructive criticism, and that's why I love DJ Chief, because he does that. But you are right, and I think it has to do with the streaming. The fact that at a jam, people want to stream the jams so people could see it. I think that's taken away from even attendance, because
It
if they
is.
know they're going to see it on YouTube, why go to the event?
Exactly. Yeah. It's not like it used to do. We had to wait for the video to come out.
And if you DJ one of the events and they're streaming it, when you watch the battle, your portion of the DJing will be blocked. You won't be able to
And
hear it.
and remember, people used to go to jams to hear what I was going to play, to hear what Lacey was going to play, so they can go digging for it. You
Oh
can't
yeah,
you can't go digging for a song that a DJ made up on his laptop because it's not on a vinyl. So
it does take away from that, because there
so
is a rush and adrenaline. You go to a record shop and you're trying to, like, I remember going up to you, I forgot when it was, and I was humming the song to you. I was like, yo, Magic, what's that song that goes, and you immediately said, this song. I was like, holy shit. And I immediately looked for it, because now you can't. Now it's like, oh
nobody,
man. So you said one of the things is the music. What else? What else?
uh, uh, something that Tels told you about b-boys going to battle another b-boy, not just going to the event. The whole It's funny because a bunch of b-boys tell me, oh, but that the whole beef thing is dumb. I'm like, dude, but that's what it was, such an energy. There's no energy in battles. People come to a battle just to go there to win the cash prize or whatever. Before, it used to be about this, like you would go to a battle just because you knew that this person was going to be there and this person was going to call that person out. There was like tremendous freaking beef in battles, and everybody was like had some beef with another crew. Today, everybody's like all friendly. Oh, hi. There's none of that anymore in battles at all.
Yeah, and it's true. Like Tails said it. He
What
said it on
tells
the show. He said, go after, before you will look up to battling a b-boy, and you go to battle for that b-boy. Yeah. You're not going for the trophy. You're not going for the jam. You going, oh, Johnny's gonna be there. I can't wait to see him. I'm gonna smoke him, or whatever's gonna happen. And that created that animosity, which is beautiful. You don't have to fight, but show your skills on the dance floor.
Yeah.
What else you think is missing besides that? So you said the music, that right there, they're not bringing the authentic rawness of how it used to be. Remember back then on the Who Can Roast the Most forums, they will be going nuts. Wait till I see you at Pro-Ams. Wait till I see you at Pro-Ams. Oh, you going to freestyle session? I'll see you there. Oh, B-Boy Summit, I'll see you there. And it was so dope, because then you come with your crew, and if I'm battling somebody and someone jumps in, then the whole crew is battling. So now the two crews are battling. Yo, that's so dope, man. Like
the battles were 1,000 times more raw. Today, a lot of jams battles that I see are boring. They're boring. The b-boys don't even look like they want to be there.
So what's your opinion on breaking going to the Olympics?
What you said?
Huh?
I did not hear what you said before that.
I said, what's your opinion on breaking going to the Olympics?
Oh man, I don't really think that's even necessary, because we already have humongous jams that b-boys compete in.
You're right. Like, can you mention some of them besides freestyle session? Because for me, that's the most authentic big jam that could be like how I would love to see the Olympics. If they don't mock it like that, I don't even want to look at it, because I'm still gonna see it, because just to see what it is.
Well, do you know it's already sold out? That you can't get no tickets for the Olympics?
That's hilarious.
It's already sold out. Yeah, it's sold out.
But how do you feel besides it that you said there's already enough jams? Like Rebel BC1 is like a big jam, a big
Well,
corporate event.
oh yeah,
Freestyle session, B-Boy Summit, Pro-Am back then when it used to be Pro-Am. Like that was like the shit.
and
Like,
the my favorite one is the Silverback events were freaking dope.
oh yes, the Silverbacks, yo.
Every
Shout out to
every
Steve, man.
came for that.
Yeah, so you are right what you're saying, but I guess it's because of the branding of the name the Olympics, like that global the Olympics. Like that's where everyone wants to make it, whether you're a gymnast. But I'm not. I'm like sitting down watching. I'm not involved with anything that has to do with the Olympics. I'm more involved with the jams, with the underground scene, podcasting, history. That's why I bring you on this show so you could tell people because I don't want people to hear from me. I wanted them to hear it from brothers like yourself that were around the scene way before me. Like
Yeah,
this is something that you have to follow, kind of like your ancestors, and you keep that tradition. I'm all about the tradition, the cipher, the middle, not the arena of like that feeling. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
what else besides that? What else would you like to change and breaking? And now I already know your breaking part about the Olympics. What else do you see that you're like, oh man, that too?
Well, one thing that I actually liked that was going on during COVID was the live streams that people that it gave opportunities to b-boys who didn't have the money to travel to compete online. Like there was a lot of b-boys that became that nobody knew who they were, became famous from those live stream battles.
Absolutely, absolutely. Do you feel there's a lack of respect for the elders in the hip hop
Oh,
culture?
big time, man.
Big time. So talk to me about it. Unwrap that.
Oh my God. It's well, there's a lot of people that don't get the respect they deserve too from the culture, from pioneers themselves. Because there's a lot of DJs, there's a lot of people that were involved. They're like, oh, they're not pioneers. Like the whole thing with like DJ Hollywood, uh, Mauricio, Grandmaster Flowers. It's funny because I've argued this for years at the Zulu anniversaries and stuff that I'm like, and I tell people, I'm like, dude, it's all out. It's all out there. There's documentaries out there. They show that because it's funny because when people mention DJ Hollywood, oh, he wasn't a hip hop DJ. He was a disco and funk DJ. I'm like, what the heck were you playing? There was no freaking rap music until '79. You guys were playing disco and funk just like every other DJ. It's like I was playing disco and funk when I was a kid there was tons of DJs in my neighborhood playing disco and funk breaks before I ever heard of Herc. If you see the documentary Founding Fathers NYC, you're gonna see these guys had humongous sound systems in Queens and in Brooklyn, and they were doing these things in the mid '60s. And like the whole thing with Grandmaster Flash inventing the fader, that's a bunch of bullcrap. Because the GLI mixer had a fader before he ever started DJing. And we used to freaking mix with the Bozak, and we used to take the old microphone mixers and use the channels to mix with it. And man, it's like hip hop history is so twisted. There's so many people out there that don't get recognition. There's so many people out there lying through their freaking about it. I mean, I was there. I saw it all. I tell people, it's like I told Herc once, I go, if there was b-boys dancing in your jam, then show me videos of people breaking at your jams. Because all I see is people dancing. I don't see any b-boys in any of the videos. But if you look at but there's a bunch of videos of people doing stuff in Queens where there's people breaking.
Now, will you consider this 50 years? Do you feel that
there's no? How come hip hop be 50 years when rap music didn't come out till like 1979, the first album records?
Now, this is like the Fatback Band before Sugar Hill Gang. What year was that?
Fatback came out the same year in '79.
Look at that. So, how
I mean,
many
there was a lot
years you
of
would say?
bootleg records. There was a bunch of rap records that were like bootleg that.
So when did they claim it hip hop? When who according to you, like when you were there, so I wasn't there, but according to how you remember things, because this is a long time.
But you're talking
It
about like
may
the name, the culture, because the culture was
yeah,
around
the
since.
culture. The culture hip hop, because I know in 73 nobody was talking about the five elements in hip hop culture. I know that for a fact.
But the whole culture was around way
No, the
before
culture
'70.
was around. I'm saying coining the names and graffiti, hip hop, b-boy, like the whole thing.
I don't really know when the name came out, because I know like the picture I showed you, Starsky was one of the guys that came up with the word hip hop,
Now,
because
in
he was a rapper. He used to be like ba 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 ba, and he used to say hip hop, and then then also Cowboy from Grandmaster Flash also had to do something with the whole word. But when I don't really know when it actually the whole culture actually became hip hop. I don't think anybody actually knows
is
when
that I
what you.
see the BET Awards talk about 50 years of hip hop. I see MTV talk about it. I've
But
seen
that's
bunch
impossible
of
because there was no hip hop in '73.
that's the funny part of it. That's where I'm confused about. I'm like, it's confusing everybody.
I mean, there was music. The music was there, but the whole like the b-boying and all that was not around.
It's so trippy.
And
Now,
one
go
thing
ahead.
that I tell people, the reason that the Bronx got so much credit for stuff is because of all these journalists that went to the Bronx to take pictures of graffiti. If they would have went to Queens or Brooklyn to another borough, it would have been a different story. Then those boroughs would have got the recognition.
But it was around in Queens. You were there, so you know.
Dude, there was tons of DJs playing breaks in Queens, and when I was a kid, my cousins were older than me, and they were DJs. And I went to this one place uh, in the city, and there was the DJ that he's in a bunch of documentaries, and a lot of DJs speak about him, like Curtis Blow talks about him, Jazzy. Everybody knows who this guy is, but everybody does not give him the props. And it was a DJ Pete Jones. He's the very first DJ I ever heard mix breaks together when I was a kid.
So
He
let's
DJed
say
at Broward this I think it was called Broward 96, and a bunch of clubs that were like exclusive clubs that there was like $25 to get in. In the '70s, $25 was like $100 now. So it was like real expensive. Everybody, you had to go in with a suit and tie. So people from the Bronx, people from poor neighborhoods, they couldn't go into those clubs and listen to these DJs.
so let's say
And he was a producer for
1977.
James Brown.
Say that again.
He was a producer for a bunch of James Brown records. So you go tell me this guy did not know about funk records? This guy was playing funk records back in the '60s.
So you would say disco and funk was mainly what people were listening to from
In the '70s.
1970, from the
Yeah.
70s all the way to probably 77, 78, right?
Yeah. Until records started coming out. The records started hip hop, like rap records started coming out in '79.
So any DJ that was supposedly DJing in let's say 1975, they would have been playing disco music or funk music, right?
This old funk. Yeah. That's why I argue. It's like, how can you say that this person wasn't playing hip hop when there was no hip hop? Everything was disco and funk.
So you would say Cool Herc was also playing disco back
And
then
funk.
because I'm
Yeah.
that's great. So why nobody debates this? Why nobody like
I don't,
really
and it's like
sits
I guess
down and goes, "Yo, let's get to the bottom of this." Cool Herc sit down with Grandmaster let's say Theodore, and sit down and just have a conversation, like for real, like.
Well, Flash, you're part of Zulu Nation. Do you remember a couple of years ago they tried to take away the the history from Herc, saying that he
Oh
wasn't the.
yeah, yeah,
Remember
yeah, yeah.
that?
Yeah, I
Because he came
remember
out
that.
because it's all about money. Remember, he came out with because I think he came out with a book and he didn't give no recognition to Zulu Nation or something. So Zulu Nation decided like, oh, we're not gonna honor Herc as the father of hip hop
Yeah, I
anymore.
remember that.
You remember
But
that?
Herc was there. Herc was there because it changed. Me being down with the nation since '94, then all that time I always heard Herc, Herc, Herc. But then
Yeah,
when he came out with the book and he was
everything changed.
but he was saying the truth because he
Yeah,
wasn't part of Zulu, like he wasn't like influenced by Zulu Nation or none of that.
no,
He's saying his true story. Jamaica, reggae, all that. They felt some type of way and they said we gotta take him out of the books. It's all about erasing people. Do you feel that they try to erase your history?
I guess uh, I mean, I don't really care because all the old school heads know who I am, and
Exactly.
'cause people and like, and if you go to Queens and anybody in Queens that's over 50 years old knows who I am because they saw me DJing everywhere. I was all over Queens. I was all over the place DJing.
Do you ever get down with a crew?
Uh, just DJ crews. The very first crew I belonged to was called. It's funny. My name Magic just fit me all the time because the very first crew I ever DJ with was called the Music Magicians, and then I
Oh,
DJ
snap. The music
Magicians.
magicians?
Yeah,
Woo.
one of my best friend actually passed away 2 years ago. He started that crew, and it was like me and a bunch of DJs from Queens. And then I DJed I DJed with this kid that I've been trying to find for years now. His name was Zero. He had a group called AC Connection, and he did a lot of jams all over the place. Him and his partner, they were everywhere, man. I got to DJ. There was a place in the Bronx. It was like they called damn, what was that? Juan Rivera called it Herpes Triangle because it was like three clubs that made a triangle, and there was more people hanging out outside the clubs, like having sex in the cars at the time that freaking AIDS and herpes was big in the mid
Oh.
'70s. And he did a report about it because that place it had there was a club it was called Tapestry, and then Riddlers, and I can't remember the name of the other club. But my friends were like the main DJs there, and it was funny because we used to like all of us used to DJ in the clubs, and we would like put a reel to reel, a mix of a reel to reel, go outside, hang out, and then I would like we would switch clubs. It's like I would DJ for like an hour at Tapestry, and then I would run across the
Yeah.
street, and my friend would run across the street, and he'll DJ where I was at, and I'll go DJ at his club, and we kept on switching like in a circle. It was funny.
That's so dope. Now, around that time, disco, do you have an afro by any chance?
Nah, I never had that. Oh my God, I wish I had pictures of when I was a kid because I was into martial arts since I was 5 years old. So I had a really long ponytail and my head all shaved like Jet Li.
Oh my God. You did the whole straight Shaolin monk style?
Oh yeah, man. I was heavily into martial arts.
What? What is it? Lo Peng? Was it Lo Peng? I forgot the name of that guy. The Kung Fu guy, Lo Peng.
Yeah,
He
I
goes,
had I had my hair long for a while, and then when I couldn't get a job nowhere, so I had to cut it.
oh, Fonsayo. That's was the name. Fonsayo, Jet Li
Yeah,
in the
Jet Li.
Shaolin movies back
It's a,
then.
it's a real, actually real martial arts character.
So now going back to you being a kid again, if you have to go back to being a kid again, what would you tell yourself? So, like, you're talking to Magic and you're like, yo, and you know that it's Magic from the future. What would you tell him to like an advice or
Oh man,
change this, don't do that? Like, what would you tell him?
oh my God, there's a lot of things I had to change because when I was a kid, I was involved in gangs heavily.
So go
And
ahead. Imagine Little Magic is there and you're talking to him. What would you tell him?
to stay in school because I dropped out of school when I was 13 years old to be a DJ. And
Stay in school. That's a good one.
yeah, because I struggled a lot to find work when I wasn't able to DJ no more. And uh, and I guess to keep away from my cousins in '81 when they came over to New York, because they got me in so much trouble, man.
So meaning around that time, but
Because
this is the thing.
because in '81 when the Mario boat lift, my cousin came over and my cousin was like the real life Scarface, and he got me into so much trouble. And then my other cousin was was the leader of the Latin Kings in New York.
Oh
King
man.
Blood was my cousin.
What? King Blood was your cousin?
He was. A lot of people
That's
don't know. And it's funny because if you go on his Wikipedia, it says that he has no relatives, and that's a bunch of crap. That dude has a lot of relatives because my family is huge.
Yo, King Blood. I remember I met King Tone back in the days in the
See,
90s. Well, you remember back then in Skakey in the Bronx when you used to come through, there was a lot of Latin Kings. Do you remember
yeah,
King Skeeby? He was like a Zulu too.
yeah.
Like
I,
all those dudes. Like I used to see all them and then King Tone would walk around everywhere and then
I,
but
I,
I
I
think around that time King Blood was arrested around that time.
yeah. It's crazy, man. It's like I slept in the middle because I had a drug dealer on one side of my room and freaking a gang leader who's doing over 400 years of life sentences in prison right now, sleeping on the other side of my room. So I was sleeping in the middle of two freaking demons when I was a kid.
And they would you were the youngest one?
Yeah, they're no, I'm actually older than King than I'm actually older than King Blood. Than his name is Felipe, Luis Felipe.
But they had street knowledge and they were like taking you doing stupid stuff.
And this is funny because when everybody talks about the Land Kings, they think about the Land Kings of Puerto Rican. I'm like, no, the Land Kings in New York was started by a Cuban.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, in 1990 he started the Land Kings.
It wasn't called the Puerto Rican Kings; it was called Latin Kings, meaning
Land Kings. Yeah,
yeah, it's true. And I met a lot of Cubans that were freaking. Dude, I met some Cubans out there that were, and they didn't even speak English.
no, because the original Land Kings were all Puerto Ricans in Chicago. The original.
No, yeah, but I'm saying like later on in New York,
Yeah,
like the majority of the heads, some of them didn't even speak English that well. Like
yeah.
the crazy dudes, like especially the Cubans that come out from Miami. They came straight from the boat, Miami, go all the way
Yeah.
up north, live in New York City. They're trying to find a home, a place. Latin Kings are like, yo, come with me. We got a place for you. We got a girlfriend for you too.
Exactly.
It's crazy. So now around that time, so you would tell your younger self, stay away from your cousins.
Stay away from my family.
That's good. That's a little hard. Now, when you said that stay in school, it would have changed your life in the sense you would have not DJ'd all these jams. You would have not traveled and done none of this.
Actually, my whole thing was martial arts. I think if I would have probably not have been a DJ, I would have probably been like, because I was competing. I was New York State kickboxing champion back in the 80s. I was really good at martial arts.
So you would do martial arts. You would have done martial arts and go to school. You would have just kept those.
Yeah, because I was heavily into martial arts. I loved it. I have 5 black belts in 5 different styles.
What style is that?
I have a black belt in Shotokan. I have a black belt in Taekwondo. I have a black belt in Aikido, Kempo, and Chinese Goju.
Nice.
I studied since I was.
So meaning someone that will get wrapped up with you in the hallway, they're in trouble.
Oh yeah.
I love it. I love it. Now,
But
what is something?
I know what I'm capable of doing, so I just walk away.
That's beautiful, and that's the martial art way. That is the martial art way. You walk away. That's the martial art because you know what you can do. You know what you can do. For that,
You know, being a Christian, I've learned to control my temper because I used to get into a lot of fights. You know, before I became a Christian, I used to love to fight, and then now I control my temper because I know what I'm capable of doing to somebody.
that's good. That's good. Now, what is something people seem to misunderstand about you?
Oh man, I don't really know, huh?
Try to think of anything you've always heard in your life that you're like, man, people always confuse me for this, or they always think I'm this, or
What's funny is that at the first evolution and like I don't know, but B-boys were scared to talk to me. And one day, this kid named Spinal comes up to me, and I go, "Yo, why?" It's like you talk to me online. Why you didn't come to Evolution and speak to me in person? He goes to me, "Oh man, because you look scary and like, and I don't know. I see you around a lot of famous people. I didn't think that you would talk to anybody." I'm like, "Dude, I talk to everybody."
so they were intimidated. They thought you weren't approachable.
Yeah, people like used to be scared to talk to me. I don't know why.
Well, when you're DJing, you are serious because you're
Oh
serious
yeah,
about your work. You are. I don't see you smiling, jumping around. You're
uh,
serious about your
but
work.
actually, I wasn't as when I was younger. I was like really into it. I was night and day DJing. I really lost love for DJing when I became a Christian. Threw all my I threw all my equipment away, and most of my records and
Now,
my CD. You
now,
know,
besides that, besides becoming a Christian, was it you got turned off by a lot of your supposedly promoter friends that try to put you onto gigs? They don't pay you. They don't call you. Like we were having a conversation,
well,
you almost died.
I gave up on DJing because man, I was just tired of getting screwed over by promoters. Like you know, I'll tell you, when I was a kid, I got stuck in Brazil when I was let's see, I was like 16 years old. I went to DJ at a club in Brazil, and the promoter took off on me, and I had to actually rob people to get money to come back home.
Holy crap. So I know earlier we were talking about you were in the hospital and you were expecting to see some faces, familiar faces you've always seen. And it's important for you to let it out because it's important for you don't have to say names, but the people that showed up, you haven't even met. You said that you were in the bed and you're like, who is this person? And
Oh yeah, it's
random
crazy.
people.
It's crazy. I had like tons of DJs, MCs. I had like three people come from Europe to come visit me in the hospital, which like I have no clue how they found out where I was at because I didn't tell nobody where I was at.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know until you told me.
Dude,
I
I
was
didn't
like,
even have time to call my parents. I told you I was rushed to the hospital and they operated me right away. They didn't give me no time to call my parents. They just made me some nurse comes in and goes, sign here. And I signed my life away right there. Boom. And I was rushing to the operating room.
and how long were you under for?
Man, I remembered that they put me in the operating room like at 11 o'clock in the morning, and I woke up at 10 o'clock at night in a this little small room. I thought I was dead and went to hell because I woke up in this little small room, and there was like intensive care, and there was like a bunch of old people around me screaming. It sounded like I was hell because everybody's like, leave me alone, get me out of here. And
Oh my.
I woke up there like I didn't remember nothing. I don't remember anything that happened. The doctor told me that anesthesia that it gave me actually makes you forget. So I don't remember being operated on. I don't remember. I just remember being in the bed. They moved me from one bed to the other, and I woke up in this small room.
That is like, well, I'm glad you're not in the hospital anymore. I know it's difficult for insurance and all this crazy thing because sometimes I think doctors don't really care. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Some maybe there's a bunch of doctors that do care, but like according to every time I talk to a doctor, I just think that they're just like not really listening to me, or they think that you're making things up. I don't know how that works, but
It's dude, it's crazy. It's like if you got to be rich to get sick. Like my medication is $80 a pill. So if I didn't have insurance, I'll be dead because I wouldn't be able to afford to buy it because 10 pills is $800.
Holy crap.
And I have to take 2 of them every day for the rest of my life. So imagine a person that cannot afford insurance, they will die.
That is crazy. Now, if you could be remembered for one thing, what would it be? Let's say 50 years from now, because Magic, I know you love living on this earth. You're a Christian. God is watching you. That's why he kept you here. He's giving you another chance. But you got to listen. I don't even know how to say it in English, but in the Bible, I know it says in Spanish, they said, cuídate y yo te cuidaré. Basically,
Yeah.
take care of yourself, and then I will take care of you. So you got to take care of yourself, brother, because I want to continue having conversations with you. I want to see you at jams. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
Like, stay on it, brother, because only we can help ourselves. It starts with us.
Well, that's what it, in English is God helps those who help themselves.
There you go. There you go. So
If you,
please, brother, stay with us.
well, the easy is the easy, simple answer to be remembered for callous.
Oh, wow. Beautiful.
Because,
Now, will you say Joe is remembered for Catalyst?
oh, of course.
And you don't mind in the future, let's say 50 years from now. Oh, man, Magic. I remember Magic Catalyst. I'm going to be real with you, Magic. I'm going to remember you as a brother, an older brother that guided me when it comes to DJing, was never stingy about giving the tracks out. When I would say, yo, Magic, what was that track? And you'd be like, El Incredible Bongo Band, blah, 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 blah. Some of the DJs will like not even, you got to pay them a lot of money to say the rare tracks. You've always been open, and I appreciate that.
Me and Basic always gave out our tracks to a lot of people.
And I could imagine how many tracks you have that nobody's ever heard.
Oh, dude, I still have stuff that I haven't even played.
So when you gonna play it?
when you get me to DJ at your jam.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So now this is a question. Do you know when the day is?
It's October. I know October something.
Yeah,
I saw
October
the
21st. Dude, I'm saying this on this show right now. I'm gonna have you as a DJ, brother. I need to see your face. I need to see you there, and I'm gonna make whatever happens so you could be there to DJ. Because, dude, if that gets you motivated to stay healthy, stay with us. October 21st is right around the corner, but you have to make sure you're good, brother. Like stay on it, man. Like forget about the noise out there. Work on yourself. Stay on yourself. And in 3 months, man, I'll see you probably 15 pounds lighter. You feeling better. You know, you're hype. But I will get you there on that show for sure. So you will be remembered as Catalyst and a brother that has always been hitting jams. Dude, when anyone that talks about DJ Magic, when we say your name, they already know. They're gonna be like, man, that guy will go to Atlanta. He will go here and for free. It's like for the love of it.
I did Crazy Freddy's jams for free. I flew myself out there. Well, actually, Exist flew me out because the week after Crazy Freddy's jam was East Coast Overdose.
Wow. So promoters, if you're listening, watching this show right now, you got DJ Magic, man. He got rare tracks. Now, this is the thing. Are you going to pull the rare tracks out on my jam?
No, I'm going to play polka.
Oh, man.
What the hell? I got no tissues.
Brother, we have come to the end of the show. This is what I want you to do right now. I'm going to give you your own screen. You're going to tell the world, and it's the world. I want the world to hear this. What you're up to these days, where they can connect with you so that they can hire you to DJ, fly you out around the world. You mentioned it. There's a bunch of DJs being flown all over the world with electronic beat buttons. bring Magic out there where he's going to be playing vinyl, where he's going to be playing rare tracks.
Oh, no more vinyl, man. That's too heavy for me to carry around.
Oh, okay. So we'll hook him up with the Serato and the controller.
I got rid of most of my vinyl, man. Actually, most of my vinyl Felix has.
And, snap! Shout out to Felix, man. Good brother right there. But let the world know what's up. What are you up to these days? Where can people find you online and connect with you? Let the world know what's up.
Well, right now, since God gave me a second chance, I am really trying to open up Callus again, even if I have to start from scratch and call it something else. And I'm just trying to make trying to just eat healthy and just take control of my health, mostly that. And if anybody there wants to get me to DJ their jam, you can hit me up on Instagram or social media, or hit up any freaking B-boy that you know, because
What's the name on Instagram?
The Original DJ Magic.
The Original DJ Magic, and on Facebook, Rudy Alfonso, right? DJ Magic.
It's weird. It didn't let me put Magic. I had to put my real name.
Wow, interesting.
But
so now, any shout outs, Magic?
Oh, just shout out to everybody out there, the whole B-boy culture, to Breaking MIA, to everybody who used to go to Callus, iFlow. Oh, there's so many people, all the B-boys out there, Backyard Funk, Flipside, Main Ingredients, to Basic that I haven't seen in years.
Basic, I haven't seen that brother forever. B Ryan, I haven't seen forever. What's the other cat? Theo, B-boy, DJ. Oh my God, I know his real name, but I don't know his DJ name. You know, the other cat from Orlando.
The other DJ?
Yeah.
Sure Shot?
Sure Shot, yeah, man. Damn, I haven't seen that brother in a while. But shout out to all of them, right?
All the DJs out there. To Lean Ross, to Lean and Scheme, they're still playing the real funk. Actually, dude, you guys got everybody. You got to go to the Texas Jam, because Scheme is going to be playing nothing but 45s.
Oh, snap. When is that?
I think it's August 26th. Urban.
The Ritual Warfare.
That Tails is going to battle Marlon. But you know that battle be super dope.
Are you going out there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why am I asking you this? You go to every jam. Like, if
you're
not sick, you go to every jam.
I have to see Tails battle Marlon.
That will be. And you coming in with that Magic 305 shirt, right?
Oh yeah.
But yo, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
And Scheme is one of my favorite DJs, bro. That guy has a lot of dope funk tracks, man.
Well, you're gonna see him on the 26th. But brother, thank you for being on the show, man. I really appreciate you. And since I've known you, man, you always been a good brother to me. And bro, I love you, man. Like for real, from the heart, man. I want you to stay here with us and continue shining the light on all the DJs, because you just re-inspired me to go and dig some dope tracks. Because, man, I'm not gonna go to vinyl though, but because like you said, all those crates, all that, but you're inspiring me, man. And I would love to see you on the ones and twos with me. That will be really, really dope for that jam. And this is an official jam. This ain't no corporate jam. This is, you know how we do. You know how it is, man. You know how it is. But
I just wanted to ask, since you were talking about Scheme a bit in Philadelphia, that Philadelphia has a really heavy history as far as break DJs.
Okay.
Because I used to go. Remember, I was a DJ and I was making money, and I used to travel. And I used to, and Philadelphia is like right over the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And there were DJs out there in the 70s playing stuff that I never heard of before. I mean, that's why I'm saying that hip hop history is very twisted, because there was people doing stuff in other states, in other places. Because I used to go to the Philadelphia in the 70s, and there was I wish I could remember the name of the crew that I used to hear playing in the parks over there. But I'm sure Sking Richard probably knows the name of the crew.
Well, yeah, when you see him, ask him because he probably has a lot of knowledge about Philly.
Yeah, you need to get him up. You need to get him on the show.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna reach out.
Oh my
thank
God,
you.
You gotta see his toy collection, bro. He has a.
I could imagine. And he's a good brother too. I've heard just great things about that brother. And with your blessing, for sure, I'll have him on the show. But yeah, Magic, thank you, man. Thank you for being on the show. The show comes out tomorrow, so I'm gonna edit it. You see it. I'm gonna post a preview. Let the world know DJ Magic is still alive. You're still with us. That's the beauty of it, man. But you already know, ladies and gentlemen, that is Rudy Alfonso, aka DJ Magic. I go by the name of Flashback. Ladies and gentlemen, peace out.
Peace.
Yeah.